Jeppe High School for Boys in Johannesburg is an institution steeped in rich rugby culture. One of the school's most high-profile Springboks is former World Cup winner James Dalton. Things have not always gone according to plan for Dalton, and despite his solid schooling background, he admits he made some questionable life choices. We met up with Dalton at his former school to discuss his life, career, and that famous '95 World Cup victory.
Well, when we refer to here, it's Jeppe Boys High School, a school that has been in existence for 134 years, and I'm proud to say I was part of that history. And yes, it certainly all began for me to become a future Springbok under Jake White, who also became one of the World Cup coaches, winner in 2007. So I have incredible memories of the school, and it's so nice to be back here and see that the culture and the heritage and the facilities are so well maintained. And you know, the school's motto is "Nothing is too difficult for the brave." You know what? Yes, my own doing. So, you know, as I said, a lot of people would say I come from the wrong side of the tracks. I came from the right side of the tracks. And that all the choices and bad choices was all my own doing. Nobody else's. I had a good upbringing, good school, everything was fine. I decided to go to the dark place. I decided to follow a path that was counterproductive and was destructive for myself and my image. And I can now proudly say that the past for me is dead. That's not James. What I am is what you see today in front of you. And that's all I can give people of experience or knowing me is what they see today. Yes, we all got a past, but not everybody's past is put in the front page of the newspaper. Because it's reality. Facts are facts. I can't hide away from it. And you got to own. You know, there comes a point in time or in life where you got to own your shit, and you got to understand that you can't keep doing the same things and expect a different outcome. And I had to go do inventory on myself and realize that I've got a lot more to add. And hence my passion for kids and my initiative around my safe space. And that we're all entitled to a second chance. You know, if you want to judge me, off you go. But you're not going to take anything away from me. Yeah, sometimes the rabbit hole is indeed a hole, you know. And it depends how deep it is, and that will be based on how much destruction and negativity you've embraced and taken upon yourself, and poor decisions, you know. But yeah, you know, I was lucky enough to you know, from the darkness be able to see some light and change and turn my life around, and be able to tell a story and say, listen, I want to make a difference now. You know, it's time to make a difference. James Dalton can add back to society, contribute to communities, and be the person that I can be. Yo, that was amazing, man. Look, it was the first World Cup we were ever part of, obviously. Coming back from isolation. Madiba was like our lucky charm, so bless his soul. And we, funny enough, weren't favourites to play Australia to win. You know, we were inexperienced. They were the incumbent world champions. They had rock star names from Michael Liner to David Campese to Phil Kearns, and the list goes on and on and on. And we had no accreditation, no ranking, no stars. And we convincingly beat them on the day of the opening of the World Cup in South Africa. So let's go to the facts. So whoever's got an opinion on that, like many people have, go look at the facts. I never committed any offences that warranted a red card. I didn't bite, I didn't kick, I didn't punch, I didn't spit, I didn't do any of those, okay? I intervened in a brawl, I was pushed into the advertising board, it made one hell of a noise. That's all the referee saw. He turned around, saw me coming in, regarded me as the third player entering the fray, and based on that, he sent me off. There wasn't like reviews, you know. Afterwards, straight after that, I had a committee that comprised one Englishman and two Frenchmen, who never once used the interpreter to get my side of the story across to them. They never once even asked the interpreter's involvement. And, you know, Doc Late gave me an attorney. Mornay du Plessis said to me, no, James, don't use an attorney. You know, we must show that we support the game of rugby and all that sort of stuff. So he pretty much threw me under the bus. And yes, I paid the price for it. And but the outcome was still that we won the World Cup. Of course, yes. Of course I am. You know, I played my part. I was the best hooker by far in the country. I was, at the time, probably one of the best in the world as well. And I deserved my position there. You know, the fact that Chris Rousseau played there was good to him, lucky to him, you know, but unlucky for myself. But life goes on. Well, bullying in schools, how do I come in? That bullying is real. Bullying is real. The scary part about bullying is, again, talk about the past. My generation, it was physical. Okay? Now there are many different platforms and mediums for bullying. So it's mental, psychological, cyberbullying, naming and shaming, social media, physical. It's now a massive problem in the schools. And the problem with bullying is that it lasts. The kids in their later lives, it plays out in their later lives, that mental trauma, because a lot of times, society, we don't deal with our issues. We carry them with us. And it impacts our functioning and our stability in other parts of our lives that we actually don't realize. So bullying is definitely a scourge, like gender-based violence is a problem. And it needs to be given the attention and the respect that it deserves and to be eliminated. And also break the social ills, the cycles, the social ill cycles, that what kids do at home, they don't bring into the public space and public domain. So my role, I'm the founder of it. So the initiative, I identified, I was a JAG Bullyproof ambassador for the JAG Foundation. I would go to underprivileged schools in the Cape Flats and talk about the effects of bullying. And then obviously being privileged and exposed to the schools and seeing that the risk that certain schools are at and the vulnerabilities that kids are exposed to. And all they want to do is be able to go to school in a safe environment and learn. They weren't given that platform or that privilege. So I decided to start an initiative called My Safe Space, Safer Kids, Education Together. So we would like to become the legacy and that's minimum safety and security standard at schools. That every school must have a minimum safety and security standard, as in a 1-star. Then should they implement, so we have overview cameras and monitoring. If you add access control, you get 2 stars. If you add perimeter monitoring, you get 3 stars. So your schools can be a 1-star up to a 5-star. Now parents can say to the teachers, okay, well, I like your curriculum, I like your sports, you're good at sports, there's enough kids or not in my child's class, but what is your star grading? How secure is your school? And that's what I want to do, is make sure that every school has a minimum standard of safety and security. So the involvement, you know, I've been working on this about 20 months now. We're ready to adopt 15 schools. JP will be one of the schools on a proof of concept to prove the statistics and the data that comes out of it. And I'm proud to say that my partners are absolute rock stars in the industry. Ricky Crook, the CEO of Vumacam, Taylor Kwong and her team from Vumatel on the connected schools. iTech South Africa, 60% owned by Investec Bank, and then myself, the face of it all. And I've combined all those massive role players and custodians of their industry to put together My Safe Space. No, it was just the passion. It's just the passion to make a difference. So a lot of sportsmen have so much gravitas. They don't understand the impact that they can actually have on people. And I feel that we've even lost that now again with winning another World Cup back to back. What have we really done publicly to make a difference or stand up and be a voice, the players, for South Africa and certain initiatives like gender-based violence, anti-bullying campaigns? No, we've done nothing. But we forget to realize the impact that rugby has on us as a society to pull us all together. And those players can have an impact in making a difference daily in our lives as well. And I want to be that difference. I've got gravitas and I've got people skills, and I'm not a stupid person. I have above average intellect, and I know that by implementing what I have will make a difference, where learners can go to school free of fear and intimidation and enjoy their education journey. Yeah, I don't think we're arrogant, but we're just not doing what we can do in terms of taking it to the people. Sport, I mean, look at what rugby does for this country. You come, you win a test match on a Saturday. On a Monday, everyone is full of energy. No one's even bubble us. Everyone's full of energy. And then it just dies away. Why are we not keeping the momentum? It's just bizarre. And then when I approach certain institutions and I say to them, guys, let's start a campaign, an anti-bullying campaign. This is the initiative. This is what's behind it. I get told it's not on our roadmap yet. I said, excuse me, not on your roadmap? It's happening every day at schools. How can you say it's not on your roadmap? So, probably not going to have my critics for saying what I say, but I'm not scared of controversy. I still remember the bully's name. I'm not going to say it and name and shame him, but yes, I was bullied. And I detest the bully. I'm not exactly a mammoth man in terms of size, but I don't like a bully. I think tenacity, maybe stubbornness, but no. Look, I've always had a strong mental mind, and everyone likes the story of a comeback kid. And I've made comebacks in my rugby. Same year I made my comeback, I played for South Africa again under rule of Australia. I made a comeback in life, and I'm proud to say that I've overcome some struggles, and I'm here to tell the story. And so I've come back from, as I said, from my own life challenges, and now I want to move on to the next chapter, the new James. Bullet no longer exists. If you think what a bullet symbolizes, so yeah, I think at times I lived up to being a bullet. I was destructive, menacing, destructive to myself. And what, you get to a point where, I want to just be James. Tired of, living up to public's expectations of what they perceive me to be or what they think of me or my reputation. I just want to be James. Get on with my life and contribute If we all just contribute a little bit every day, respect our democracy, not throw papers out the car windows, not litter, not throw cigarette butts, not break the traffic the traffic laws. Everyone just contribute a little bit like that every day. It would make a massive difference. And we need to instill that. We need to put placards on the posters, on the lampposts, saying what makes us a democracy is respecting the rule of law. It's not just about the vote, and cleaning society up, breaking the social ills is incredibly important if we want to change ourselves and our future. Yeah, absolutely. I had a very terrible experience with my son, who I've got no relationship with, and very sad story. And also his mother, having committed suicide recently, hung herself, and still no relationship or allowed any access to my son. So yeah, that broke me. I've got to focus on the positive things in my life. Again, the points that I said that make me work. Don't get distracted. Be mindful of what you say and what you do, and be present. Take in your surrounds, take in your environment. Those 3 things work for me at the moment, and that's all I'm going to focus on. Everything else will take care of itself from there. No, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. A lot of us are broken people. We have a public persona, and then we have the realities of life that nobody knows about. We all react to it differently. We all respond to it differently. And sometimes life deals you a heavy hand, but you can't go and show it because, oh my God, imagine James Dalton had to show he's vulnerable. There goes my whole image, my whole reputation. And sometimes it's that reputation I rely on to make my life work. My partner, she's actually a classic. She says, James, at home you got like a soft and gentle personality as yourself. When you walk out the door, you walk like a cockatiel. The birds when they walk on the floor, like a breaker, in other words. And yeah, that's it. And it's that living up to society that actually breaks you eventually. Brilliant, loving it. At 51, I'm like 15 years older than the rest of my dojo. I'm loving it. I'm going to be grading for my 3rd stripe on my purple belt. And what that means is you've got to get 4 stripes, and then I go to my brown belt. And then hopefully I hope to achieve a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. And that would be my accomplishment and becoming another Springbok in another sport. Come out, and it's okay not to be okay. There are people that will help you. There are people that will listen. Accept things when they are broken. Accept when you are broken, and go find the help that you need. You don't have to suffer in silence. You're not alone. And society must stop naming and shaming people. Like addicts. Addicts are not addicts because they want to be. Okay? They have an illness. And until you understand the illness, then you can understand the addict. And I get so angry with people that name and shame. Because it's normally the person that names and shames that should be the one shamed. Because they've normally got the most skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.